Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to read the story Caps for Sale. Here's the cover of the book. I can move the book, so that tells you what type of book it is. You're right, it's a paperback book. And we call this the front of the book. What's this part? The back. And then what is this? You're right, that's the spine of the book. All right, here we have the title, Caps for Sale. And we can find out some things about this book by looking just at the cover of the picture. Well, there's a guy, he's called a peddler. That's a guy who sells things on the road. And he's up here sleeping in the tree. It's an unusual place to be sleeping. Down here, we have a stack of things. These are the caps. Another word for caps is hats. So he has a stack of caps here. What color does he have on top? Red. And in the middle? Blue. And on the bottom, he has like some brown speckled type hats. And if you look really closely, there's two things behind the tree. You're right. Those are monkeys. There's one here, and there's one there. I wonder why the monkeys are on the ground, and the peddler is up here in the tree. Would you like to count the hats with me? Okay, let's go ahead and count the hats. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 red. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 blue, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of the speckled brown hats. They're all, yeah, you're right. There's the same amount of hats. So all together we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hats. Now you have to be quiet because you don't want to wake the peddler. All right. Are you ready to read this story called Caps for Sale? A tale of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business? It's told and illustrated by Esphyr, Slobodkina. There's the title again, Caps for Sale. Here's the title page, Caps for Sale, and it has the author and illustrator's name, and it tells us who put the book together. That was Teaching Strategies. We have the dedication page. It was dedicated to Rosalind and Emmy Jean and to their grandfather who loved to read to them. Do you like when people read to you? I'm glad you're allowing me to read to you today. All right, are you ready? Here we go. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like any ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First he had on his checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street, calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody wanted even a red cap. Can you believe that? Not even a red cap. He began to feel very angry, but he had no money for lunch. I'm sorry, he wasn't angry. He was hungry. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," said he, and he walked out of the town slowly, slowly. So as not to upset his caps. There he goes. He's leaving the town and going to the country. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. That's a nice place for a rest, he thought, and he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against a tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his heads. He doesn't want them to fall down. That's why he doesn't want to disturb them. It's like trying not to wake someone up. Then he put up his hands to feel if they were straight. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. They're all there, right? Are they disturbed? No? We're okay? All right. Be careful. Don't move. Be careful. Here we go. They were all there. Whew. So he went to sleep. He slept for a long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap. Where did all the caps go? I don't see them. Do you see them? This is not good. He looked to the right of him. No caps. He looked to the left of him. No caps. He looked in back of him. No caps. He looked behind the tree. There's no caps. Then he looked up into the tree. And what do you think he saw? What do you think was up there in the tree? Are you serious? I need to check. Do you want to see what was up in the tree? Oh my goodness. You're not going to believe this. On every branch sat a monkey. On every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. How? What is going on here? I don't believe this. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. Makes sense. Monkeys might listen. You monkeys, you, he said, shaking a finger at them. You give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, tis, tis, tis. Tis, tis, tis. These monkeys are up to no good. This made the peddler angry, so he shook both hands at them and said, You monkeys, you, give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook back their hands at him and said, Tss, tss, tss. So the first time he shook a finger, the monkeys did what? Shook a finger. The second time he shook both hands. What did the monkeys do? Shake both hands. Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and he said, You monkeys, you better give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, Tss, tss, tss. I don't know what I would do if I wiggle my finger, the monkeys wiggle their fingers. I shake my hand, the monkeys shake the hand. I stomp my feet, I would probably get upset too if they just keep doing the same thing I'm doing. By this time, The peddler was really very, very angry. He stamped both his feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you must give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, "Tis, tis, tis, tis." All right, are you ready? So first, I'm going to do it, and then you show me what the monkeys do. You pretend to be the monkey. All right? What did the monkeys do? Then shook a hand. What did the monkeys do? Oh, you're right. They did that. Then he started to get more upset, and he stomped the foot. What did the monkey do? Stomped the foot. Then, now he's really upset, and he stomps both feet. You're right. They stomped both feet. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap and threw it on the ground and began to walk away. He is really agitated. So he's so mad, he took off his hat, he threw it on his ground. Sounds like he's giving up. Doesn't know what else to do. What do you think the monkeys are going to do now? But then each monkey pulled off his cap. What are they going to do with it? They're going to eat it? And all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. Why did they come flying down out of the tree? Because the peddler took his hat off and... You're right! So the peddler picked up all the caps and put them back on his head. Then the gray caps. First he put on his checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town calling, "Caps for sale! Caps, caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" The end. That is a cool book. One of my favorites. So, do you think when he went back to the village that anyone decided to buy a cap? Do you think perhaps somebody followed him back to the village? Who would have followed him? So, what can we do now with this story? Well, we can go and find a hat, or maybe a couple hats, and see if we can balance them on our heads. We could maybe see if there is a hat that we can design and make our own patterns on it. We can ask permission if we can have a hat to put some decorations on. We could ask someone to copy us. I could put on a hat and do something with it, and then you could do something with a hat. What else could we do? You're right. You could take and draw a picture of a hat and design your own hat. You can decide as well. You could write a story. You can say what's going to happen next when he goes back to the village. And you can add to the story and be your own author. So there's so many wonderful things you can do. You can try balancing hats on tree limbs and seeing if that'll work, and pretend that there's monkeys in the trees that have all your hats. Go outside and pretend to be the monkey and throwing the hats around. You can toss them too. Play catch with the hats. So many cool things you can do just off of this little book here that we read. That was pretty amazing. You can try sorting hats or sorting other things. Put all your red items together, all your blue, all your gray, all your brown, and count and see how many of each you have. All right. If you have any questions, please write to me, and I will do my best to help and answer any questions you have. Be safe, and I look forward to reading to you again soon. Bye.